Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for dialing in today's webinar. The focus areas in my presentation today are, the first one is the shared understanding about what user experience research is all about. I'm going to talk a little bit about the cost of bad design. I will also touch on the value of user experience research, which is the focus of today's presentation. Then there's a part where we talk about how and where to start with UX research. If you are, an individual or you're a business, so you're thinking about your UX research strategy or how to get started, how to get more, UX research into the mix of the work that you do. It'd be good for you to stick around because I will touch on that. And then I'll be sharing some important statistics so you can take away so to think about throughout the presentation today. All right. Let's get started. Before we start, if you're joining us for the first time, or if you're not following us on our LinkedIn page, please, I would want to implore you to do that. Go to search for Waymaker Digital on LinkedIn. That's our LinkedIn page. The same thing for YouTube. YouTube Waymaker Digital, Facebook Waymaker Digital, Twitter Waymaker Digital. Actually, on LinkedIn, we've got 2 pages that I would encourage you to follow. There's another page called Momentum by Waymaker Digital. That's also managed by us because they're 2 separate offerings. And of course, on Instagram, we are on Waymaker Digital. Also, we have Momentum by Waymaker Digital. All right. So that's it. Let's get started. A little bit about myself. As some of you might know me already, my name is Victor. I'm a digital transformation leader and I'm a change catalyst. By God's grace, I have led multi-million-pound change programs at C-level, both in the public and the private sector industries for different organizations. Very passionate about leadership, excellence in leadership, excellence in strategy, and also the intersection between leadership, strategy, and of course, driven or facilitated by technology. I'm currently serving clients through partnerships and collaboration. That's my approach, and I'm currently the head of products and client services at Waymaker Digital. I'm a founder of Momentum, which I mentioned earlier. I'll probably talk about it during the presentation as well. And in 2015, I created the Agile Business Analyst Bootcamp, which has helped so many people, whether they're new or trying to find their feet as business analysts. I still currently coach and mentor business leaders and digital consultants, user researchers, developers, product managers, scrum masters, and the like. So, or even entrepreneurs, founders, and startup owners. Okay, so that's a little bit about myself, and let's dive in. Now, user research is the thing that shapes and defines the guideline that we use to create a product in order to have a great user experience. So if the question you are asking, or if where you are in your organization or as an individual is you're wondering, should your team dedicate time to user research? Because sometimes we find stakeholders not really thinking along those lines. They don't think it's important to listen to users, or they think it's important to bring the insights or feedback or the needs of users into the mix when trying to design or solve or create a solution. All right. It's important that, we are able to convince our stakeholders of the value, the return on investment, when they do use UX research, because when these kind of questions arise, what happens a lot of times is that many think the research phase is a waste of money, it's a waste of effort. Why we invest a lot of money in user research, but what they don't know is that there's an impact of user research on product strategy, right from the conception of an idea even to the delivery of a product. It's important that you are constantly speaking to your users, because that is how you ensure that whatever you deliver, whatever you produce actually works for them. As if you're a user researcher or a business analyst, you're a digital consultant. Your job really is to help business leaders and project stakeholders to understand how to include research and how research has value to their product and services, especially the learning and insight from user research, how they are an indispensable asset to the product design team. And that's something that we encourage all of our clients to do, and we help them to achieve as well. So let's talk about what exactly is user experience research. It is actually a study, a systematic study of target users and the requirements of those users in order to add realistic context and insights to the design processes. So if you're designing a service, or whether it's digital service, whether it's a physical product, whether it's even whatever it is, it's important that you speak to the target audience for that product or for that service first of all, so that whatever it is you are bringing into your requirements to build or to design or to implement that thing as the realistic context of the users in the mix of it. User researchers adopt different methods, of course, to uncover problems and also identify opportunities, pain points, and issues. User research will reveal valuable information which can actually be fed into the design process. As a UX researcher, it's important that user experience research helps to drive design. Yeah, you begin by asking users, for example, who are our users? Yeah, what do they do? What do they want? What are some of their pain points? That is what user research brings out for the process. It's actually a responsibility of user researchers to convince and educate clients, and that's the purpose why we're having this conversation in the first place, because it's important that business leaders, startup funders, CEOs, project managers, lead, you need to be convinced that, listen, good UX is next to impossible if it is not preceded by user research. All right, now let's move on. The bad UX design is expensive. Think about it. It's expensive. Bad UX design is expensive. And bad UX design in context here means design that is not informed by or that is not preceded by user research. So you design something based on your assumptions, you design a solution or design a product based on your own sentiments or your own biases, and then you expect that the users would just fall in line. You expect the users will just use it, or they just get on with it. It is expensive to do that. And I'll tell you why it's expensive, because your users, number one, they will not be satisfied. And when user satisfaction is out of the window, then loss of revenue, loss of business reputational damage. And the thing is, if people don't have, and word of mouth, they tell others. And when they don't use it, then you have to rework and rebuild or redesign, meaning you have to do double work or more times redesigning and reinventing the solution. So it's very expensive to do bad UX design, and bad in this context meaning UX design without any insights from research. All right, some stats: companies lose $62 billion a year, every year, due to poor customer service. And what leads to poor customer service? Because they haven't listened to their customers, they haven't spoken to them, they have not engaged with them, they have not asked them, is this working for you? Or would you like us to change something? And this goes beyond just sending out surveys and sending out forms and whatnot. Yes, those are parts of getting insights, but it's important to have a constant feedback loop with your customers and with your users who are using your service. 91% of non-complainers just leave when they come to your website or they use product. They just, 13% of them tell 15 more people. Wow. Are serious. So this is from intechnique.com. It's tell 15 more people about their bad experience. So when your website is not great or your product is not, it's not really good, instead of complaining, they don't complain. They just go. Yeah. And then they tell 13% of them tell 15 more. That's a huge statistic, isn't it? So the other thing here is when websites are slow loading, it costs retailers more than $2 billion in lost sales every year. right? So when you're trying to buy something online, whether it's Amazon.com or whichever website, any other e-commerce website, when they slow load, when they're not loading very fast, yeah, people leave. People just go to the next one. People just look for the next alternative solution. All right. One more start to go. 79% of people who don't like what they find on one website, they will go search for another site that does something similar or something better even. And that's huge. That's a huge portion of market that you don't want to leave. That's a huge share of the market that you don't want to leave on the table untouched. All right. Now, a quick plug here. Waymaker Digital is offering our digital agency services. Essentially, we adopt a balanced and human-centered approach to discover and design solutions to solve complex business challenges and business problems. And how we do it is by partnering with our clients to ensure that their projects succeed. Whether you're looking for project delivery consultants, agile business analysts, user researchers or UX designers, even web developers, any framework, full stack, cloud specialist, AWS, Azure, hit us at contact@waymakerdigital.com and somebody will definitely be ready to support you. Now, moving on, let's talk about the value of UX research. Why is UX research important? The first thing here, I got this quote from Top Tally. It says, you cannot create great user experience without understanding the target users or their needs. Creating something without knowing the users and their needs is a huge risk that often leads to a poorly designed solution and ultimately results in a far higher cost and sometimes negative consequences. I mentioned that before. It's one of the most essential components of user experience design. User experience helps to provide an unbiased view. It basically helps you learn about the user's natural language, what their knowledge, their mental models, and their life context. What problem is the product or the service trying to solve? When designing and refining the product, everything should lead back to the target user. Sarah Hoville, who is a user experience strategist, she wrote about creating software for humans, where the intent of technology should be to increase the quality of life, not to make it difficult, not to make it harder for them to achieve their goals or to do what it is they're trying to do. And when UX is done right, user research, it gives your users a voice. When you do it right, you give your customers a voice. Understanding why they behave a specific way, how they respond emotionally, will deliver short and long-term value for your business. Immediately, you may find that improving the current experience is all they need. They don't even need new features. It's not about throwing new features all the time. So there's something wrong. You throw a new feature into the product, hoping that it addresses the problem. Sometimes all they need is just to improve the current experience. That's all. You don't need to build anything new, but you need to give your users a voice. Now, if you're looking to start in UX research, I've put a few ideas or thoughts here that could help you get started, no matter where you're starting from. Now, user researchers, UX designers, they have the ability to research, investigate, analyze, and extract all types of qualitative and quantitative data. Yeah. And when they aggregate these things, what happens is that it can paint a holistic picture of a user's needs. So user researchers is the first place you need to get a user researcher on board, or you need to outsource the user research function to if you don't have the capacity or capability in-house, you can outsource it, or you can even get a consultant to come work with you. And that's why we're here for you. There are sources and activities. For example, primary research can give you sources like analytics and proprietary data, usability testing, focus groups, on-site observations or sessions, which is what we call diary sessions, or recordings, or online or email surveys. Yeah, those are primary research sources and activities that you can carry out that can help you uncover insights and give you, awareness about the needs of your users. Other secondary research data could be obtained from things like statistics websites, third-party studies. You can buy paid reports where you want to understand maybe a particular market, or you're launching a new product to a particular sector. You want to understand that sector a little more so you know what people are looking for, what people are trying to do, and what problems exist in that industry, in that space. You can buy paid reports, and industry and competitive audits are available online. There are websites where you can go. You can download those things, and I think I will come back and share more about some of those sources later on. And then you can even do a social audit. Yeah, a social audit is where you look at you audit your social presence, your social channels as an organization, and look at how are people engaging with us? How are they feeling? What are they finding? Do a cleanup of all your social footprints as a company, as an organization, all over the internet. Okay, now Steve Jobs says something that's really really keen. I thought I've got to put this one here. It says you've got to start with the customer experience and work backwards to technology, not the other way around. Yeah, I'm sure that's something someone must have heard before, and I just like that quote. You've got to start with the customer experience. You have to start with them, and then work backwards. Not work from the technology to the customer experience. Yeah. So when you are looking to get started, focus on creating user value from the start. Listen, I train business analysts. I work as a business analyst. I consult as a business analyst. It's very easy to get caught up in the requirements and complex systems that go into delivering an optimal experience. You can get so caught up and so into it quite quickly. But if you don't initially understand and focus on the foundation of creating user value, the risk is that you could alienate your user base. You could create a product without value, or having to start the process all over again. Yeah. So it's very important that you focus on creating user value right from the start. And listen, measuring a good user experience is not only about KPIs. Product managers, hello. Yeah, I'm a product manager. I manage quite a number of products. And the thing is, it is about engaging your users in an ongoing conversation. Whether you're already maintaining a quality user experience or whether you're undertaking an enterprise-wide digital transformation, the job is never finished. Yeah, the job is never done. You've got to constantly communicate. Yeah, there has to be a constant communication and feedback loop to ensure that you are delivering on your business and your product objectives, which is that your users, which are your users' ever-changing needs. Their needs are always changing. So it's not just about the KPIs. Yeah, the KPIs are great, the numbers look good, metrics are great, but listen, it's about that constant loop into your customers. Are you listening to them? Are you engaging them? Are you hearing them? Are you actioning some of the things they say to you? That is what we're talking about here. All right. Now, a second plug, for those who do not know, I have created this program for freshers, newbies, or career changers or job seekers. So it's called Momentum by WaymakerDigital.com. Actually, that's the website. What I've found over the years, training and coaching so many people, is that training and qualifications and certifications aren't enough. In fact, they are not the only thing you need. In fact, they might not even matter in the grand scheme of things. But what this program is about is ensuring that we can create a program that allows people who are looking to maybe make a career change or starting new, whether you're trying to get into a role as a business analyst or as a user researcher, designer, developer, product manager, whatever it is. Yeah, we give you an opportunity to have a work shadow. You participate in project work. You have a personalized career roadmap for accountability, one-on-one coaching with myself and other coaches in our organization, and mentoring. You participate in agile sprints, events, and ceremonies. And also, the beautiful thing about this is you get your CV branding done, LinkedIn optimization is done for you, and of course, you get access to practice software tools and licenses. Just go to www.momentumbywaymakerdigital.com for more information. This is really, really life-changing, and I thought I have to share this, so I just take a sip of water. Yeah, talking a lot is not easy, isn't it? All right, cool. Just to summarize some of the things I've said, before we bring this to a close today. Why is UX research so important? Number one, it helps you to eliminate wastage and rework. Yeah, it helps you to increase your users' productivity. You reduce the cost of user support. Number of calls going to your call center, a number of calls going to your agents will reduce because users find they're able to self-serve, they're able to get the answers to what they're looking for before they even pick up the phone to start calling your office. You also build products that actually work. Yeah. So if you do some research, it's better than not doing anyone, because you want to build a better product. You get customer retention and loyalty. And of course, there are other benefits across your business. You can scale, you can grow, because you have embed in your system, in your processes, a fiber of your organization is user experience research. And when is it needed? For those who are wondering, okay, so I'm a business, or I don't know when do I need to do this? If you're creating a new product, it's important to have UX research done. Whether you're adding a new feature, you do it. If you're redesigning your service or redesigning your product, yeah, user experience is a good place to start. If you're trying to attract new audiences, you have to do that as well. Or whether you're even trying to revamp the product's end-to-end life cycle, UX research is equally very, very important. Now, do you need UX researchers or you need analysis done? Listen, send a message to contact@waymakerdigital.com and we will help you. We have experienced professionals with keen eyes for user satisfaction. They make sure your project is delivered on time, even with a limited budget. And we help you to avoid the cost of rework and loss of business reputation. Okay. Before I finish today, if there's any topic you would like me to cover in an upcoming event, or you like one of our events to address, feel free, drop them in the comments below or send us a message, and we'll look into making sure that we bring the topic to you next time. Now, I want to say thank you for participating today. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope to see you again in the next event. See you, and bye for now. Cheers. Bye.